Hello guys, my name is Sunday and you're welcome to CodeViz. Please, if this is your first time coming to our YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that whenever we publish a new video, you'll be the first to get notified. Now, in this channel, we'll be treating website design, website development with other related tech skills. So please, if you want to be a website designer, or developer, this video or this channel is for you. Please kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell. Also, make use of the comment section if you have any question regarding any of our videos, and we will attend to you. So today we'll be dealing with HTML. But before then, last month we treated WordPress. We went through the process of building websites with WordPress. We built online booking websites, company websites, and we also built a blog website using Elementor. Elementor is one of the WordPress page builders we have. And WordPress, like I said, is content management system. It's actually the easy way of building a website, as some people normally say, is easy way of building a website because it's just like already made website. You just have to know the particular functionality you want to implement in your website. You know the plugin that can achieve that functionality or that feature. Install the plugin, then activate, integrate, and everything will start working for you. Even without knowing how to code, you can build websites with WordPress. All these we have already explained in our video, in our channel. So just go through those videos, those playlists, those WordPress playlists, and you will get to understand how you can able to build wonderful website. WordPress is a very, very powerful content management system. So I advise you go through those videos, subscribe to our channel so that as we progress, you'll be seeing our videos. So today, like I said, we'll be dealing with HTML. HTML, you don't call HTML a programming language. HTML is just a markup language, hypertext markup language, because it is used to structure how your website will look like. It's just like the basic or the foundation of your website, whereby after laying the foundation, you can be able to build your CSS, your JavaScript, your PHP on them. Without your HTML, you cannot be able to build this because you're going to build your CSS and JavaScript with the IDs and the classes you have made in your HTML. So with this, you can be able to build those things, even your PHP. So HTML is just like the basic of them. So as a website developer, it's important to know or you understand HTML very well so that you can be able to progress in other areas. And HTML is just like it's all about tags, attributes, and elements. You use the tags to communicate to the browser how your website will look like. It's just like, and the browser does not see those tags as tags. Please, if you don't understand this statement now, don't worry. When we start doing practical, you understand this. This is an introductory class to HTML. So the browser does not see these tags as tags. What do I mean? When you write your div tag or boot tag, v tag, the browser does not, it will not display those tag, as in those opening and closing tag. It will only say, okay, since you have written bold tag, okay, the browser should know that, okay, I want this particular letter to be bold. You understand? So that's what the tag is used to communicate to the browser. It's not actually a way of telling the browser, okay, write all the code for me, write all from the beginning, from the opening tag to the closing tag. No, once you have written your bold tag, the browser already know that, okay, this is a bold tag. Okay, I will communicate any text you're going to write within this bold tag. I'm going to bolden it or I'm going to bold it. So that's what I mean by the browser does not see the tags as tags. It just display. You're just using the tags element and everything to communicate to the browser how it should display your text or your elements. So this is what HTML is all about. Anything you're going to be doing in this HTML is all about tags, elements, attributes, and so on and so forth. So please kindly stay tuned as we move on. And I advise you, like I said, please kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell so that whenever we publish new videos, you'll be the first to get notified. So please, let's go to the practical aspect of the tutorial. Thank you.
Alright guys, welcome to the practical aspect of this tutorial. Like I said, I've already explained what HTML is, and I said that HTML is hypertext markup language. It's a structural language that is used to structure how a website will look like, where you build, just like the foundation, where you build your CSS, your JavaScript, your PHP and other programming languages. And in our last video, we also explained how you can install the text editor we are going to be using throughout our video. So if you have not watched that video, I'm going to drop the link under the description section. So please kindly go through it, because we thought we went through how you can download VS Code, create a folder, create files. We did all these things in our last video. So please, if you have not watched it, I will drop the link under the description section. Go and watch it so that you can be able to understand the VS Code interface. Now, when you open your VS Code, if you want to open your VS Code, just locate the directory or the location you have downloaded the VS Code, or you have installed the VS Code. You can just come to your search bar and type VS Code. It will come out here. Then just have to click, or you click here. Now once it has opened, this interface you'll be seeing. You can see we don't have any file, we don't have any folder here. So if this is your first time of opening your VS Code, this is how it should look like. Now, for you to start building websites, you have to create a folder that will be holding all your files, all your image folders, all your CSS folders, all your JavaScript folders. You have to create the main folders that will be holding all these folders. Now, to create that, you can actually go to your desktop like this, and click, then click on new folder. You can create your folder like this, but let's create the folder using our VS Code, which you have already explained in our previous video. But because I will be needing this folder in this tutorial, let me just go through it again so that if you can be able to understand it more better. Now, for you to create a folder in VS Code, just once you open it, just head over to this file, the first option by the top left hand side, click on file, you click on open folder. When you click on open folder, it will open a dialog box. Now, don't select any of these folders. What you are going to do is to locate the directory or the location you want to save your folder. Now, I want to save my folder in my desktop, so I have to click on my desktop. Once you have clicked on your desktop, you will see other folders in your desktop. Now, don't select any of these folders. Just come here and click on new folder. Click on new folder. Now once you have clicked on new folder, you have to name it. I can name it root, or I can name it HTML tutorial. Let me just leave it as root. Enter. Now I have selected this folder. Make sure it's selected. Once you have selected it, click on select folder. Now you have created your folder. So this folder, now this is where, when you want to open it, it will ask you whether I trust. Yes, click on yes, I trust the authors. Now when you click on this folder, this is where you create all your files. This is when you put all your files inside. It's just like the container holding all your files. So once you have created the folder, the next thing you have to create is to create HTML file. HTML file, not folder. Now folder is what just like the container. Again, the file is just like when you now type your code. Now if you want to create your HTML file, there are two ways you can actually do it. You can actually just come here, this place now, and click on new file, or you can just come here, come to your file option, click on new text file, click on new text file, it will open a new tab. Before you type anything here, make sure you save this work. Don't type anything yet, just click on your Ctrl S. When you click on your Ctrl S, now watch the directory where the file is saving. You can see our file is saving desktop. Inside the desktop, it's going to save inside the root folder. That means it's saving in the folder that is located in our desktop, in our root folder located in our desktop. Now, assuming this your dialog didn't open like this, maybe it opened directly in the desktop this in background. Now what you're going to do is, once it's like this, just go and click on this root folder, double click on it. Now it has opened the root folder for you. Now you can now save your file inside this folder. Now if you want to save your file, just name the file. You can name the file index. Why we are using index is because when you run your code, the browser will check your code and first of all run any code that has index in it before running other codes. So that's why we normally save our default page with index.html if you are doing with HTML. Now let's save it with index alone. Now once you have saved with index, under here it says save as type. Come here and change it to look for HTML. Now this is HTML. Now click on HTML. That means the HTML is the extension. Every file if you are building a website, every file you are creating must have extension. If you are building JavaScript, if you are coding JavaScript, it has extension.js. If you are building HTML, it has extension.html. If you are building PHP, it has extension.php. And we have already explained this extension tutorial in one of our videos, so kindly go and watch it. Now once you have created this index and the file type is HTML, now you save. You can see the icon and you can see the extension. Now this is the name. .html is the extension, is the file extension. Now it means that any code we are going to write here is going to be HTML code. If you should come and write PHP code here, it's going to give you an error. Now this extension means that okay, it's going to communicate to this particular text editor and say okay, any code I'm going to write here is going to be HTML code. If I save it with JS, it means that any code I'm going to write here is going to be JavaScript code. Now this is one of the ways you can actually create a file in VSCode, which we have already explained in our last video. Now another way you can actually create a file in VSCode is you can actually come here. Let me delete this one. Now let me delete it and start again. Now I've already created my folder. Now you can actually come here. Since you have created your folder, just click on that folder you created. This is root folder I have created. Click on it. Then you come to this icon. When you hover, you see it's writing new file. New file. So you click on new file, meaning that you want to create a new file. When you click on new file, it's going to bring out like this. Now you type your name, the name of the file. Now you're going to type .html. You know the other one we only typed we only typed index. We didn't type .html. We just typed index, then selected the save as type. We now selected HTML. Now in this place, there's no place you can select, so you have to type it complete, index.html. Now you can see it has changed the logo. It has changed the logo. Now if I say index.js, it's going to change the logo to JavaScript logo. If I say index.php, it's going to change the logo to PHP logo. But for the course of this tutorial, we are going to be treating HTML. So let's say index.html. Now if you say index like this without putting any extension, or just index like this, it's not going to render the file as any of programming language or any text, any hypertext. It's just going to be like normal text. Maybe when you store your trash files. Yeah, so but since you are dealing with HTML, you have to put the extension, which is what .html. Now it means that any code you are going to write here is going to be what HTML code. Now after typing it, you click enter. Now this is the same method, and that's simplest way or easy way you can create a file in Visual Studio Code. Now we have created our file. What next? The next thing is to start building your website with HTML. Now before you start building your website with HTML, you have to bring out your boilerplate. That's also you call boilerplate in HTML. It's just like the template of your HTML. Let me just say template of your HTML. Now for you to bring it out, the first thing you have to do, the shortest way you can bring out your boilerplate is just come to your keyboard, click on Shift 1. It will bring out exclamation mark. Once you have bring out the exclamation mark, just click on tab. I don't know, let me do it again. Just click on Shift 1. I'm using Shift because that exclamation mark is on top, so you have to use Shift for it to be able to appear. Now Shift 1, you to bring out exclamation mark. Now click on tab key. Click on your tab key. It will bring out your HTML boilerplate. We call all these things now, all these things now are boilerplate. Now I'm going to be explaining all these things because we said in our last video that we're going to be explaining this in our next video. So this is what I'll be explaining now. Now the first thing that you see here is what? The doc type declaration. This is a declaration. It means that all HTML documents must start with what? A doc type declaration. I don't know whether you guys understand. The doc type declaration, the declaration is not an HTML tag. It's not HTML tag because I say that in HTML it deals with tags, elements, and what attributes. Now this doc type is not a HTML tag. It's just a declaration. It is an information to the browser about the document type to expect. Now basically it tells the browser that this is HTML, render this document as HTML document. So that's what the doc type works means. So it means that you want to communicate to the browser that this is actually HTML document and render the document as a HTML document. Now this is your language, this is English. Now in this head, the head element is a container for meta tag and is placed between the HTML tag and the body tag. Meta tag is a data about the HTML document. Meta tag is not displayed, but it defines the document title, the character set, the style, the script, and other meta information. Like when you want to like those of you that will be using SEO, this is when you now describe your website description again. So it gives the information. You just define the document title, the character sets, the styles, script, and other information. Like I said, it's placed, the header is placed, the meta tag is placed within the header. Now this meta tag, now the first meta tag you will see is the character set meta tag, which is the UTF-8. We have other ones. This UTF-8 is HTML tag that is used to indicate the web page character encoding. It just used to, in order to see the correct content, the tags function is used, which lets the browser know that character encoding was used in the HTML document. So this is work of this UTF-8 meta tag. Now the next meta tag you're going to see is this particular meta tag, the second meta tag, Now this meta tag gives the browser instruction on how to control the page dimensions and scaling. The width, the width device width part sets this particular one, this width device width. The work of this is set the width of the page to follow the screen width of the device. So if you are using Android, another person is using smaller screen, so this particular width device width will eventually automatically place the size of your screen to fit in to the content you are browsing online. So that's the work of this particular stuff. So the initial scale 1.0 part, this particular, the last one, initial scale 1.0 part sets the initial zoom level when the page is first loaded by the browser. So you can see all these two meta tags. You can still have more meta tags where you can write your description about your website, your tags about your website. Maybe if you are building website based on business website or e-commerce website, you can use the description to write about your company or about your business or about your website to help your website to be visible to people. So that's the need for this meta tag. Now the next one is title. Now this title is just like where you write the title of your page. Let me say, if you're on the home page, you can use this one as the home page. If you go to about us page, you can use this one as about us page. Now if you go to contact us, you can use this contact us as the title of the website. Now for example, let me show you how this works. Let me save this. Now I have saved this. Now for you to preview your work, don't forget that in our last video we also treated how you can install an extension called Live Server. Live Server helps you to preview your work as you are effecting any changes here. So once you have effected any change here, it will automatically refresh on your browser without you going to the browser to refresh itself. So that is the work of Live Server. It gives you it updates your website on real time. Now for me to preview this, now once you have installed the Live Server extension, if you want to install it, if you have not installed yet, if you want to install, just kindly go to this last option here, extension, search for Live Server. You install this particular one, you should still install here, just like this one, you should still install here. Just kindly install it. So once you have installed it, if you come down here, you'll be seeing something like this, go live. If you come down to this place, you'll be seeing something like go live. So once you have opened your index file, just kindly go to this place, go live. Click on go live. It will start your Live Server. Okay, let me use this always. Okay, let me just do this. Now you can see that our contact page, our title page is what contact us. Now you can see that's what is here. So assuming we have, okay, let me use messages. Let me save it. Now once I've saved this and come here, I don't need to start refreshing my browser. Automatically this have already refreshed for me. That's the work of Live Server. So it helps you, it updates your changes. Any change you are going to make here, any change you are going to make in this your Visual Studio Code, it will update it automatically for you once you have saved the file. So this is the work of this title. So title is just the title of the page you are creating, you are currently on. So let's just use this is our home page. Now when you save, it will change to what? Home page. Just like we have here Google, we have here home-canva. So all these are the title. This is how you put the title of your website. Now the next one is body. This is very, very important. Body is just like where you write your code. This is where you write your tags, you write your elements, you write your attributes, you write everything should be within the body tag. Anything outside this body tag is not going to be rendered very well. So for you to be on a safer side, it's important, very, very important, that any code you are writing here should fall inside this body tag. Inside this body tag, all the code you are going to be writing should fall inside this body tag. It should not go outside the body tag. It's important that anything you are going to type should also fall into within this HTML opening and closing tag. Like I said, this is the opening tag of HTML, this is the closing tag of HTML. So all this should be within this opening and closing tag of the HTML. Now then, if you want to start writing your code can be inside this body. It's just like the body of your website. So this is all about the HTML boilerplate. Now once you have already understood this particular boilerplate, you can be able to start building your website with HTML. Don't forget that for you to bring out the boilerplate, you can able to use your shift exclamation mark tab key to bring out your boilerplate. You can as well learn how you can actually type this from scratch instead of using the automated method to bring it out. You can actually learn how you can able to type this boilerplate. In case someone say, oh yeah, come and type this particular boilerplate for me, without using the automated method, you can be able to, go through it and pass that test. Now we are done with the explanation of the boilerplate. Now HTML is very, very important. Let's take for example, you want to build your CSS. You want to build your CSS, you want to build your JavaScript. It's on this HTML that you are going to build your CSS and your JavaScript. Now let's take example, like let's see a website without CSS and JavaScript. Let's see how that website will look like. Now if you want to check any website at all, if you want to check how it will look like without CSS and JavaScript, now what you're going to do is you're going to download your Firefox, Mozilla Firefox in the browser. When you download, you open it. Once you have opened it, just type any website. Now let me use any website. Just come here. Okay, let me just use this YouTube website, youtube.com. Okay, now once the website has opened, this is the website with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, depending on the language they use to write the website. Now let's see how the website will look like without CSS and JavaScript. Now if you want to check that, just come here and right click, come to this empty place and right click. Make sure that this menu bar is turned on. If it's not turned on, it's going to be showing like this. Now you have to right click again, just turn it on so that you can able to see these menu items here. Now once you have on this menu item, what you have to do is just click on file, click on view. When you click on view, you go to page style, you click on no style, page style, no style. Now this is how the YouTube website will look like without CSS and JavaScript. You can see the website is not looking nice, just like plain HTML without CSS and JavaScript. Now you can see the importance of HTML. Now if with this structure, now since you have structured this website like this, you can be able to build your CSS and JavaScript on them. But without the help of HTML, you cannot be able to build this CSS and JavaScript, because you have to give them IDs, you have to give them classes. You can be able to fetch the tag or you can be able to fetch the tag or the elements from the HTML and style them or give them animation or any transition you want to give to that particular element. Now if you want to go back, if you want to redo it, just go to view again, page style, basic page style, so it will come back to normal. So this is how you can able to view any website without you can view a website with only HTML, without CSS and JavaScript. Now okay, now that we have already understood the importance of HTML, now let's write our first HTML code. Now like I said, HTML deals with tags, elements and attributes. Just for example, now let me just use my this div tag like this. Now once I've written my div tag, is just like a container holding your code, just like a section, a division of your code. Now if you come and write div tag like this, and inside this div tag you can choose to write your h2, and inside this h2 you can say welcome to my HTML class. You save it, you can preview it. Okay, you can see the preview. Welcome to my HTML class. Now you can as well, if you don't want to use this div class, you can as well delete this div class just for the course of this particular tutorial, because as we progress we are going to be teaching you guys tags and elements again with attributes. So this is what we will be able to be doing in our next tutorial, not actually in this tutorial, but for the course of this tutorial, let me just write my first HTML code with just straight h1 tag and say welcome to my HTML class. You save it, you can preview it. Now this is welcome to my HTML class. Now let me delete something and say welcome. You can save it and preview it and welcome. So this is how you write your HTML code. Normally I should write hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world. Now this is your first HTML code. So in our next tutorial we'll be guiding you guys on the attributes, tags, elements, how you can be able to use all of them in your website development. Now you can see this is how you write your first HTML code. Now what you have to know about this is a tag, this is h1. You also have h2. This is what we'll be actually be treating in our next tutorial. You can change this to h2. Can change it to h2. We also have h3, h4, h5, and so on and so forth. So, but for the course of this tutorial, let's just use this. You can see, let's just observe the height. Let me use h3, h4 here. H4 here. And if you come to this browser, you can see that h1 is more bigger than h4 again. So that's how you do it. So from h1 from h2 to be decreasing, h3 decreasing, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. So this is how you write your HTML code. Now what we must observe in this code we have written here is that we wrote this code within our body tag. This is our body tag. This is opening and closing of our body tag. This is opening tag. This is the closing tag of our body tag. Now we wrote this particular HTML code inside our body tag. We didn't bring this in outside, which I've already explained. So any code you are going to be writing should fall within this body tag. You should not go outside the body tag. So that's how you build your website. So like I said, in our next tutorial we are going to be treating tags, elements, and attributes. So where we'll be explaining all these particular h1, h2, bold, italics, and so on and so forth, and those HTML tag that doesn't have a closing tag. you can actually call them self-closing tag. So they don't actually have a closing tag, so they are self-closing tags. So all these will be treated in our next tutorial. So please, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on your notification button so that whenever we publish new video, you will be the first to get notified. Also give us a thumbs up if this particular video is helpful. Now if you have any question, you can also ask in the comment section and we'll be able to attend to all your questions. So see you guys in our next tutorial. Thank you.